Welcome to the WedPro Podcast, the podcast for WedPros no matter their stage. We are your hosts, Katie and Roxy, and this is the WedPro Podcast.
Hey, welcome back to the WedPro Podcast, your backstage path to building that thriving, burnout-free wedding business that you absolutely deserve. I'm Katie.
Hey, I'm Roxy, and today we are cracking the code on how can wedding suppliers keep clients raving and referring for years, because retention and referrals are the heartbeat of a booked out business actually. Yet so many suppliers stop at the thank you card and then just move on to the next client. There is so much more work to be done here.
Yeah, we're going beyond kind of that thank you card today. Think video shout outs, anniversary activations, client spotlight mini documentaries, really things that you can put into play immediately.
Plus, stick around for a special invite to WedCon 2025. Oh, I'm so excited. I am so excited for this day. It's our one-day deep dive at a stunning vineyard in the middle of Shrewsbury, beautiful countryside. Right, let's get going with this pod.
Okay, first, let's talk about why post-wedding engagement, excuse the pun, works for clients and referrals in your business so well. So first of all, let's talk one of my favorite things to talk about, psychology and strategy. When you add in surprise and delight or little moments of unexpectedness in your client's journey, you tap into dopamine spikes. The brain loves and remembers those feel-good moments.
Yeah, and these emotional memories, they really stick around. They're like glued to your mind. You know, a bride who tears up at your video recap is way more likely to tag you in her anniversary post because you've already, you know, made that memory and that feeling stick in her mind.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, we can guarantee your competitors aren't going to be doing this. So I think it's just that bit that you can just go that little bit extra. And we always, you know, what we do know is that 20% of your actions as a business owner is going to be driving 80% of your sales. So what we teach the people that come and work with us is what to do in that 20% so that you are driving 80% of your sales. Social proof absolutely comes next for sure. When your couples share their experience of working with you online or maybe chatting to their friends over brunch, they become walking testimonials and walking advertisements for your brand. And that is your most powerful ad, their voice.
Yeah, these guys are like your raving fans, and it's just about making sure that you utilize this as much as you can, because there's nothing like word of mouth. You're going to get that trust by proxy, aren't you? So you've got to think out of their wedding as, like, let's say Act 1, the honeymoon period. Your post-wedding touch points are like Act 2 and Act 3. So it doesn't just stop at you providing them the service. They have at the wedding. Thank you very much. We've got to look at the strategy a little bit deeper. And if you can nail Act 1, Act 2 and Act 3, you've got lifelong ambassadors for your business. These are raving fans that are going to talk to everyone they know about you when they're talking about their wedding.
Yeah, so a little quick pro tip here is map out a timeline of working with a client and look at the timeline post. And this is what this podcast is all about today, how we get more engagement, more referrals, so that your brand can have that longevity that you want in the wedding industry and the longevity that you deserve, right? You work hard, you know, it's very difficult to constantly be on the hamster wheel of marketing your business. So have a think about how you can reuse other things. And one of the best ways you can reuse is all of those past clients and couples that you've done an amazing service for. So yes, if we were doing another podcast today, we'd be talking about different timelines that we would want you to have in your business, but map out a post-wedding timeline. You know, what are you going to do 2 weeks out of a couple's wedding, 3 months out? even a year or maybe even 2 years if that's relevant to you and what you do inside of your business. And now fill in each of those timestamps with an idea of how you can engage them with your brand again.
And if you're thinking, oh, I don't even know where to start, well, don't worry, we have got the goods here. So there's 3 VIP touch points really that we're going to have a quick chat about. So first, you could do a personalised video thank you. So about 2 weeks post-wedding, literally send a 60-second video, reference a detail, maybe the mum's dance floor moves, or something funny that happened, or the killer speeches, and send that over to them.
Yeah, you can record this on your phone. You can keep it really raw, mention their names, the venue, make it feel bespoke. And, couples could screenshot these and share them in their stories, make it easy to share. One of our clients implemented this inside their business, David. Does David listen to the pod? Well, hi, David. Just in case you do. Other clients that work alongside David as well and know David will know who we're talking about. And he implemented this strategy into his business, not actually at this point in his business. He implemented it at the point of pre-wedding. So he did it in 2 different ways, which was amazing. So he did it pre-wedding to just send a little quick video a few days out of the wedding to say how excited he was to work with the couple. And then he also implemented another video in the inquiry funnel and the inquiry stage as well. And he's seen his interest spike, his engagement with his brand spike, but also his booking spike as well.
Can I just say on that point as well, I know another one of our clients, I've not even kind of told you about this. I was reviewing their website the other day for them. And as soon as you click on their homepage, a video pops up of them.
Amazing.
It's the camera.
Amazing. But yeah, you don't have to overthink this. Keep it raw. Keep it really authentic. Couples and, people in general just really crave that authenticity. And there is nothing like a video of a couple raving about the experience that they've worked with you, or even just sharing that video that you've sent over and pop in something, a few heartfelt words on that video, and then sharing that with their friends and family as well. Okay, so let's think about what you can then do a little bit later on in the process, kind of near their first anniversary. You can be keeping in touch with them anyway up until this point via a different sort of post-wedding email strategy. You may be somebody that has other services that you can sell. Maybe you do other experiences, or maybe you're somebody that has upsells that can come after a point of wedding. A lot of you out there will be, wanting to photograph baby portraits, or maybe anniversary parties, or other entertainment as well, and other key milestones as well, which is absolutely fine, but you still need to keep top of mind to these people. So if you are somebody that has services that could come into effect, and it's so much easier to sell to a couple, to sell to anybody who's already purchased something from your business, it's a much, much easier sell this time. And it reduces your cost per acquisition as well. So it reduces cost for you marketing your business. So if you're somebody that does have post-wedding services and you don't have an email list set up inside of your business to be retargeting them, we would definitely recommend that you check out Flowdesk, and we'll whack a link in the show notes, because it's super, super simple to set up that in Flowdesk, and you can have that sorted by as soon as this afternoon. But maybe you're somebody that doesn't have post-wedding services, but you still want to keep top of mind with those couples. Hit them with an email series about how's married life. Maybe you have some news that you could share with them. Maybe as well, you could give them a little bit of surprise and delight at this point inside of their journey as well. So sending, a bunch of flowers or something to the post is always lovely. And, we like to do this for our clients as well, don't we, Roxy? We like to do a little bit of surprise and delight and send things to the post.
It's really important as well to make sure you factor those costs in upfront. As in in your packages prices to begin with, make sure that you're not getting out of pocket for this, because you would have already factored this in. All those costs already in, is what I mean.
So sending a bunch of flowers or sending, remembering that they're an absolute Starbucks addict and sending, a Starbucks gift card, or that they mentioned a lovely restaurant that they like to eat at, and making sure that you're taking those details in your onboarding process and then dropping in that surprise and delight a little bit later. Doesn't have to cost you anything either. So maybe you put together a curated Spotify playlist filled with some of their ceremony tunes that you did, or maybe you can give them a anniversary shoot. You could frame an additional image that you took at their wedding. Really just have a little think about what it is that you do, because there will be something that you can add in at this touch point in your business that just, reminds the couple, because around this time anyway, they're going to be thinking about their wedding, but they're not going to be thinking about the suppliers that made it happen. And it's just a little reminder of, oh yeah, actually, so-and-so did this amazing, and we wouldn't have had that perfect, wonderful day had, the flowers not been like this, or if the entertainment hadn't have, been so perfect. So it's just reminding them, and also thanking them again, and showing that you appreciate the people that help you to run your business.
And then moving on a bit further away, like from their wedding, about 6 months after their wedding, you could surprise them with a little mini docu-style little film that you've done, 2 to 3 minutes of their day, their highlights, the behind the scenes, and a personal message from you. Now, this, obviously, you're going to have to pre-plan this in advance to make sure, and this, we always say it's always good to have a bit of a strategy behind everything you do. So think about this beforehand. Make sure that on the day, before the day, you're getting all their content that you need, and then just pop it together for them, send it over about 6 months after their wedding. They would love that.
Yeah, and they can post it on Instagram, they can post it on Facebook, they could tag you, and you'll get wave after wave after wave of organic reach, and hopefully some referrals coming your way as well.
So a pro tip here, what you could do is partner with the other suppliers that have been involved with the wedding, or that were there on the wedding day, and pull some footage together. And then you can all share that on your socials. The couple's going to share that, sharing an audience. You never know who might be in the audience that could be your next client.
Yeah, keep that video nice and short, include a branded outro, and you could share this between all of the suppliers that were at the wedding as well. You could even, and we like to do this when we're partnering with people, don't we? We like to make it as easy as possible for people to share. Make it super, super easy. So with the other suppliers that are involved with this, send them a share kit with suggested captions and suggested hashtags as well. So it just makes it not another thing that they have to do. It just makes it super easy for them to share that. And then also as well, that could be a referral partner in the future. You've given them something that you've curated a beautiful bit of content for them about a wedding that they were involved in as well. And we always do say that you want to be giving value before you're asking for things from other people as well, and how you can stick in not just your couple's minds post-wedding, but also suppliers' minds post-wedding as well, and be able to be getting referrals that way. Okay, let's talk about some additional bonus ideas or additional touch points that you can put into the post-wedding strategy to ensure that referral machine is nice and well oiled and it's sustainable, so that we've always got leads coming through and a strategy in place for you to be getting referrals inside of your business. So digital keepsakes, you could deliver a little mini digital album with behind the scenes snaps. Okay, let me give you a few little extra bonus ideas in order for you to be able to help you get more wedding leads post-wedding. So first and foremost, and I think something that we haven't mentioned, is that on the wedding day itself, it's always going to start with that top-notch service, isn't it? The most important thing that you can do in order to make an impression, not only on the couple that you've worked with, but their friends, their family, the people that care about the couple, and care that they have a wonderful day. They've invested a lot of time and money, and their friends and family are invested in that couple. Providing that amazing service is going to ensure that your clients are happy and want to refer you to others as well. And I think really the message of this podcast really is to not underestimate the power of keeping in touch. Send past couples, but also past suppliers that you've really enjoyed working with, handwritten notes from time to time, see how they're doing, check in, treat them like friends, just make that extra effort with them.
I think, and if you can really nail this strategy, and we said it earlier on, like this, you can have a really steady flow of new clients coming in this way that are already warm, almost hot, because that work has already been done. You're getting that trust by proxy. They've seen your work at the wedding, whether it's a physical product or a service. And this is one of those strategies that is really important. So really don't underestimate it.
And repeatable. We like repeatable strategies.
We love repeatable.
We don't like to constantly having to be coming up with something else. Like, we like hyper repeatable, dependable strategies, and this is one of those. Networking events and conferences are a great way to stay top of mind as well, aren't they, Roxy? Approach every relationship, especially wedding suppliers, by asking yourself, how can I help this person? Or how can I make something slightly easier for them? Doing this helps make sure that you're coming across as you're more interested in their needs and more interested in cultivating that relationship than getting something from them.
So, speaking of networking and conference, have you heard about WedCon 2025? If you haven't, you've been living under a rock. Like, come on.
We're gathering for WedCon 5?
Oh,
Fifth WedCon. We're gathering over 150 wedding suppliers and experts on November 26th at a beautiful, stunning wedding venue, Vineyard. It's a day of connection, collaboration, a day spent with us and experts for deep dive sessions and workshops on exactly these strategies.
On the day, you're going to be able to network with absolutely amazing, like-minded wed pros. It's going to be such an amazing day. So, on the day of WedCon, you are going to be in for a treat. We have pulled together the finest industry speakers covering subjects that are really relevant in the industry and to your business right now. It's going to be a day of networking, learning, education, and every person that's ever attended WedCon has left feeling so motivated and ready to smash their business, because you're going to have a notebook full of actionable stuff that it's going to make a difference in your business to make it grow and be sustainable for the future.
Yeah, not only that, you're also going to create connections as well. Spaces are limited. Tickets and more information are available at www.wedcon.co.uk, and we'll pop the link in the show notes for you as well.
We will.
Okay, let's dive back into a few other little extra things that you can be doing in order to keep top of mind in your couples. Social media sites, they do a great job of letting you know what happens in other people's lives, doesn't it, Roxy? Actually, it's quite scary how much you can find out about other people's lives from social media.
Yes.
But if you've been able to cultivate a relationship with your couples and they've allowed you to follow them on socials, maybe on Instagram, or even just you having their details in your onboarding process, maybe you've taken their birth dates, for example, just being able to send a private message on social congratulating them if something amazing happens. We've kept in touch with clients that have come through. We had a couple that came into our shop. They then went on Don't Tell the Bride. When they were expecting their baby, we sent them a little message to just congratulate them that they were expecting a baby. And it just shows that you're making that kind of extra effort and keeps you top of mind. And it's just unexpected, isn't it? It's quite lovely to have an unexpected message from somebody, to just be like, oh, I saw that this amazing thing was happening in your life. Just wanted to send a little congratulations, or even maybe a little card through the post as well.
And let me tell you, nobody else is going to be doing this. And it's just these little simple, actionable things, these little steps that you can take that it's going to set you apart from the rest.
Yeah, even if you see a post or an article that you think another wedding supplier might be interested in, send it along to them with a little note saying, you saw this and it made you think of them. It's just things like this that are going to be, showing that you're interested in them and their business and the success of their business, rather than going into it thinking, okay, what can I get out of you? I'm here to get referrals. What can I get out of you? Okay, let's just talk PR for a second. And lots of, not only PR is in real wedding features in blogs and magazines, but also you can do your own kind of blogs and promotion of this as well. You know, real wedding submissions are a publicity strategy, and when done right, they can work wonders for staying top of mind with clients and with other suppliers that you've worked with as well. You know, imagine that power of being able to revisit that celebration that you did, that wedding that you did 6 months down the line with amazing news that their wedding is going to be featured. While you'll still want to have and oversee the submission itself, along with the photographer of the day, obviously, consider pulling in the couple to get their wedding story so that they can have a moment to relive their day as well. When you're thinking about submissions to sites, to wedding magazines, to wedding blogs, pull together that supplier list. Be sure to include everybody. Include, you know, that means their company name, their website, their social media handles, to ensure everybody gets appropriately credited as well. And when the time comes that you can share that good news, consider going above and beyond just sharing the URL to those suppliers. You know, if you've got the right permissions, share images of the day alongside a full list of everybody's Instagram handles and all the suppliers that were involved as well. So you can maximize the opportunity for everybody. You know, if the feature is in print, consider, you know, even mailing or dropping off a physical copy to the couple alongside a handwritten note as well. And, you know, this is one of those, yes, it takes a little bit of effort, but actually it's one of those things that you can keep revisiting time and time again. And when we've had press and publicity, we're 6 years on from Don't Tell the Bride now, I think, but we still talk about it.
Still do.
Because it can
I'm
still
on
be
Netflix because I'm like, do you know I'm on Netflix?
Now I'm on Netflix. Now Sky have bought it. Now I'm on Sky. I think, you know, treating people as you would your friends as well. You know, treat your clients and your suppliers like friends. Don't forget things like their birthdays, or to thank them in the form of a nice little gift when they refer you. You could go a little bit further and have a referral strategy, but I kind of like the thought of being referred on merit and referred because you did an amazing job and have kept top of mind, and then sending them something unexpected.
It's not like you're continuously asking for the referral all the time, but you're doing other little things to keep you still front of mind. This is a much better route to go down than just like client convey. You don't want them to feel like that. And this is, I would have loved this when I was a bride.
Yeah, I think give as get. And when you make quality referrals, you're much more likely to see that favour returned as well. So think about it in terms of referring other suppliers, and the best referrals will come from relationships that have taken time to build. And those do require an investment of your time. You know, think of yourself as like a little matchmaker that's listening, asking thoughtful questions, you know, sharing educational resources with people that you think would find them helpful. Share this podcast with somebody that you think might find it helpful. And when you receive a referral, or when you come top of mind because you've cultivated these relationships, you've sprinkled all these seeds, you've turned up at the networking events, you've asked the right questions, you've gone into it thinking, how can I build and cultivate relationships rather than how can I get referrals for my business? Because when you cultivate the relationships, the referrals will come.
Yeah.
And when you do get that referral, always acknowledge it with a token of appreciation or a handwritten note or a little gift somehow. That personal touch will set you apart, and also, you know, will really show that you're somebody who truly appreciates referrals and strong relationships as well.
Yeah, I like what you said there about treating people like you would your friends. You've got to build relationships, nurture those relationships. you can't expect to get something back without first looking after those people.
Absolutely not. So let's recap some of the action steps that people can do off the back of this podcast as well. A couple of them are really social media focused, but we've given you a lot of other kind of more long-term strategies as well. But we wanted to really give you some action steps that you could take from listening to this podcast and then really get the gears moving for you and your business.
I think my biggest action tip for you guys is to like really map out what that process might look like for your business and really think about it as well. Don't just kind of do this on, off the fly. Get a strategy together, because then if we can track things, we can look at what's working, what might need tweaking for the future.
Yeah, and I think as well, we're a fan of a spreadsheet, aren't we? Or some kind of
well, I don't know if I'm a fan, but they do their job.
They do their job. They do their job. There's a time and a place for them.
Yeah.
But you're able to see which relationships are working long term, which ones are getting a lot from you and you're not getting a lot back in return, where it's worth you spending a little bit more time cultivating relationships. And we have this when we're working with our clients, we look at mapping this out in kind of a venue referral way, but you can also look at it in all of the referrals and all of the places and activities that you're doing inside of your business. So, is sending little gifts working for you? Track it. And this is what we say to our clients, don't we? Sometimes our clients will have a little bit of a wobble, won't we, when we come in and we shake things up and we come in and we say, right, you've come to us because you want to improve something in your business. So we're going to come and we're going to shake some things up. And some of the time people have wobbles and we get wobbles and we absolutely relate to that and understand. But nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So we are a massive, massive fan of trying it, seeing what works, seeing what lands, tweaking it. And when you have the data and you're looking at, like we've just said there, mapping it out, putting it down, mapping out a timeline, tracking what's working. Data doesn't lie. Yes, it's boring some of the time, but data does not lie. And the more data that you get, and this isn't something that you're going to try for 4 weeks and then come back and say, Katie, Roxy, it didn't work. You don't know what you're talking about. It's something that you need to implement into your business for at least 12 months.
Yeah, we started a spreadsheet and actually for tracking stuff, and I think I'm on week 23 now. And finally, it's in my brain to go in there every day and do it without even thinking about it. So this is what might take.
The reason that we're saying, you need all of these, you need the data points and you need months and months of data is because let's say you do 10 weddings over a season, right? 2 months is not long enough to know what's sticking and what's working. So it's something you have to do consistently. Or if you're somebody that has a virtual assistant on your team or a little bit of help on your team, outsource it to somebody else that can just keep an eye on these numbers for you and these metrics for you inside of your business. If you're somebody that's thinking, oh my God, I don't even know where to start with all of this, do reach out with us. We've got loads of templates and things that we can help, and we'd be happy to jump on a 10-minute call with you and map out something with you. So just reach out on Instagram with the word, what should we say, WedPro? Reach out with the word WedPro.
WedPro word.
On IG, and we can have a little cup of tea with you and discuss and have a little share as to what we would do in your situation. Okay, so map out your calendar, block out some time for you to be able to do this and to implement this post-wedding strategy, and kind of think of it as like every wedding is going to have a system, right? Every wedding is going to have a system, and this is just an extra part of that system at the end.
Love that. Yeah, I imagine it's just as like another little cog in the wheel. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Don't forget to hit that follow button so you'll be the first to know when a new episode lands. And if you're loving the goods, which you know you are, please do leave us a review, a testimonial, 5-star rating, because it really does help us get the podcast out to more amazing wed pros. So thank you so much.
Yeah, if you got some value from this episode, please do share it. We do absolutely appreciate it. And don't forget to snag your WedCon ticket 2025 is shaping up to be the best WedCon yet, and we're super excited for the lineup, for the workshops, for the strategies that you're going to learn on the day, but also the connections that you're going to make as well as a supplier. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of the WedPro Podcast. Full transcripts of this episode, plus every other episode we have done, are available at www.theweddingbusinesshub.com/blogs. Thanks so much for listening. If you do have any questions about this episode or anything else at all, you can email us at info@theweddingbusinesshub.com. And if you are loving our episodes, which I know you are, make sure you hit the subscribe or follow button so you can stay updated with any new episodes that land. We look forward to seeing you on the next episode.